Here we are, turn 11. We've laid siege to Old Stones, put our forts as I demonstrated before in the previous turn. All three of us laying siege to it, plus Locke here who has his own troops. This hopefully will be enough for Hoa not to want to risk it. Because not only do we have all these troops, we have all of these as well. That's 4, 8, you know, all these guys in the forts add up to like half a stack, almost another full stack that we can attack with. I don't think he'll want to risk it. He might, but at the same time, the Storm Kings are laying siege, not only, yeah, the Storm Kings are laying siege to Fairmarket with about 2 stacks, and they've got more troops at Riverrun. So, if he pushes all his forces at Old Stones, the Storm Kings are going to come up to his flank. So, he might just think, fuck it, we'll storm the north, because that's bound to be an easier target, which he'd be right. It is a lot easier target to attack than my troops now. I've got all this forted off and everything. Not much going on down over here. We're just going to be blocking the Martell ships in there. And the Martells have still got all their shit around here, really, that's about it. They're taking back Griffin's Roost, but they're kind of 50-50 struggling back and forth with this whole thing. Although they do have Mistwood under siege. So hopefully the Storm King will be able to at least beat back the Martells to a certain point that we can sue for peace. Because, really, the King and the Reach is dead. They've bent the knee and shit by now. I think they have. If we have a look. Yeah, the King and the Reach has bent the knee. I think there's not many Gardeners left. It might be House Redwayne that controls the Reach now. But the Lannisters are a huge and powerful enemy who have likely allied with the Hoars, I imagine. Because I've contacted them prior to this, saying if you strike the Iron Isles now, you'll be able to greatly weaken them. But they don't listen, so, you know. But we'll see, because, you know, hopefully everything goes according to plan. Okay then, turn 12. We captured Old Stones. It would appear that the Hoar forces have bugged out, although they could just be waiting off the coast. I can't really have any way to tell. I can place watchtowers, I already have, of course. But hopefully we can get over there and maybe scat them out. But I don't think Zoid's stupid enough to put his ships in range of any watchtower positions. I don't know. But my money's on him going north, which is why we sent word to the Starks that they'll likely be attacking Flint's Fingers at some point in the next few turns. That's what I'd do if I was him. I'd zerg the north now that the south is kind of weak. But we'll see what happens. We'll keep these forts into position just in case the Hoar forces show up. We've got the Prince, there's 2 stacks there. The Starks have left. They're going back up into the north since it's obvious that the Hoars are going to either attack them or attack, you know, us. They've bugged out. I don't think they'll be coming back here. The north is the obvious target. We've sent this stone guy, my most vulnerable, and, you know, he's expendable. That's why I sent him there. He's expendable, and if Hoa lands and kills him, I don't give a shit. But, yeah, you know. He's destroyed the port in Seaguard, so that could pretty much mean that he didn't want me to have a castle with a port, and hence him leaving. But he did that in the previous turn, so I don't know. Not sure. But we'll end the turn now and go to the next bit. I've helped the Storm King with his little fortifications here, so that's blocked off any Hoa landing right now. And Raventree will be ours in the next turn. I think Stark is asking for Fairmarket and Raventree. We're not entirely sure who's getting what at the moment. But I'm keeping Old Stones and Seaguard, that's for fucking sure. Well, glorious news in turn 13 from the Starks. As we anticipated, 4 stacks on his coastline. He will destroy everything he has, apparently, which isn't good. The last thing we need is the Hoars taking the north, so I think I've offered to send Sunderland here, which is Lord Sunderland's bastard, and the Prince's bastard as well, Iron Aaron. All of his kids are bastards, every last fucking one of them. Hopefully he won't be, but knowing my luck, you know. These ones probably won't be bastards. And the Prince's will be. And his daughter is, and his oldest son is, unfortunately. But, yeah, I think we've offered assistance to him, so we're going to send him down here, maybe take ship with some of the sailors around here. Join up with Lorne Corbury and send troops north up into the Vale to the Wolf's Den to fight the Hoars in the north. At least keep that border. We don't want Hoar taking Wolf's Den, because that leaves him open to attacking the Vale via naval forces from the north. And we don't need that. That's something we do not need. But Seaguard's ours. The bastard succeeded in taking it. Raven Tree's ours. I think it's just a matter of rebuilding right now, holding the position. There's not too much that we can do, because we don't want to leave this coast too weak, other than, you know, Hoar might attack us, which will be very, 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 very bad. Nothing much going on in turn 14, guys. We're still holding Falcon's Roost, which I've renamed. I thought that's a nice name for it, since we've taken it over now, and it's become sort of the frontline stronghold of the House Arryn and the Vale and everything. Nothing much going on up in the north. Stark is beginning to hoard troops around the place, but I believe Hoar has a bunch of troops somewhere off the coast around here, which is all those troops that are in the Riverlands are pretty much now up in the north. Once I have the cash, I'll build a port and try to get a ship, but he will no doubt blockade that within 2 seconds of me doing it. But down in the south, the Martells have taken... They're not Martells, the Storm Kings have taken Sunspear from the Martells. We were laying siege, blockading the port previously. But that leaves him open to being able to attack all from over here, which keeps the Storm King, the Martell forces busy. We've got the Martell fleet under blockade at this port, so he can't move out of that anytime soon. Griffin's Roost has been lost and is under siege, but they're sort of playing tug of war with the lands at the moment. But with Dorne under immediate threat, I think the Martells are going to have to pull back a little bit. I can't really show you too many pictures with that because it's not my conflict, to be perfectly honest. Hoar is keeping a close eye on my lands, just in case I leave him undefended or something stupid. But he's not going to get that lucky. Okay, guys, turn 15. Manus is really losing hope out of the north, I think. I can't even see Hoar splitting up his doom stacks. Could probably draw out my death till turn 25. If I'm lucky, I can get one of his stacks on the runs and kill it, but that itself is a tall order. He might get lucky. Might be able to pull something off, I don't know. We're still holding the forts at Falcon's Roost. There's not really too much that we can do. It's just a matter of sitting on our hands at the moment. These Stark... Yeah, the Hoars have the Stark Castle Flint's Fingers under attack. He still has that place. I don't know, he might be able to pull off something. If I was Stark, I'd have troops in these forests hidden out of range of, at least hoping that they're out of range of Hoar's troops, and be able to swoop in and attack them. But Hoar's forces are massive. He has a lot of them, so it might be, like Manus said, a tall order in order to get rid of them. But, you know, my forces would be hidden in these trees somewhere, but... Yeah, I don't know. Even that in itself was risky because Hoar could have ships in range of them, and yeah. If I was Hoar, I'd expect that, you know, sort of trap to spring, but we'll see what happens up there. Thankfully, the rest of the north is secure, although I think, yeah, he's got Reels under siege, which will probably be lost. Not too much more going on in Dorne. I am providing Martell with news about the Martell forces around here. We've got all these ports under siege at the moment. Griffin's Roost is still under attack. Storm Kings have beaten back that thing, that fort that was under siege. Like I said, Dorne's like a tug of war at the moment, really. It's back and forth, back and forth. There's no too major going on. But he needs to end that conflict, at least at some degree of speed, because he's not going to... Fucking... Lannister's going to turn on us eventually, and if we're still fighting the bloody Martells, then we're going to be considerably weakened when he attacks us. Yes. We've got this fleet here, which is going to join up with Sunderland's forces and head up into the north, unless the plans change, which they might, given the situation. If Lannister attacks, I will need all my troops focused around the Riverlands to help out, and he has got a lot of troops around Golden Tooth and Hornvale, so he might be planning to. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll go to the next turn and hope to God that Stark can... Maybe he has hidden his troops nearby and he can get lucky and manage to pull off a victory. We'll have to wait and see. We've got turn 16 for once, guys, and we've got some good news at least. There has been a victory in the north, although it's only like almost under one stack, so there's going to be a lot more Hoar forces for Stark to fight in the north, and hopefully he manages to pull more victories out of his hat. We can only hope. There's not much going on down in Dorne, really. We're still in a bit of a stalemate. I believe the forces that laid siege to the fort were defeated, or he's retreated back to... He's renamed Sunspear into Lightning Stag. Lightning Stag! That sounds awesome, doesn't it? I'm not sure what's going on here. I think... Yeah, he's still got all this. There's still tug-of-warring around Griffin's Roost. He has managed to take Blackhaven, I believe. He sent his king down around and took it from behind, placing that fort there to stop the Martell forces. So he might get a victory there. I'm not entirely sure. We can't have any pictures of their battles, although we could if I went onto the internet and got them, but I can't be bothered. I've only bothered to get pictures of what Stark battles I could get against the Hoars, because that's from my, you know, they're my enemies, and Martell is really out of the way and not my enemy. We're building mining networks so we can get more cash out of the Eyrie. All this stuff is up and running. We're still moving my fleets around here with all the Arryn troops that are going to go up into the north. But yeah, we're just kind of sitting on our hands at the moment and waiting to see what happens. Okay guys, turn 17. Nothing much has changed, but we do have some good news, very, very good news from the north. The Iron King is dead, and Stark has won a major victory outside of Flint's Finger. It's now his, the castle is his, and he's dealt a major blow to the Ironborn forces. Unfortunately, he still has some troops on his ass. Yeah. Guess who's on his way to being out of debt? He's also in debt. Lots and lots of debt. Hoar still has 2 full stacks marching on Torrens Square. If only I had a fleet on the western coast, this war would be over. Yeah, we don't have a fleet. My fleet's on the eastern coast with that many other troops. My troops, as you know, by the time you read this, are all around Flint's Finger, completely destroyed a stack and halved another on top of reclaiming a castle. On the face of it, it was a solid victory, but now I have no chance of defending Winterfell. I shall have 500-ish gold next turn, enough for a fort or a militia. If you can, then I will appreciate your support of your forces, but if not, then I shall try and get Hoar to fight a battle instead of rushing when my troops are not stationed. Yeah. He's defeated lots and lots of Hoar troops, killed the Iron King outside of Flint's Finger, dealt a serious blow to his forces, but now he's got 2 other stacks that weren't in the fighting, that were around the rails, and they're heading right for Torrens Square, and will no doubt head right for Winterfell afterwards. So it's going to be a game of chicken, just chasing the Ironborn around the north, unless we send forces to assist, which are currently all the way over here, which will take 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 turns. Yeah, 5 turns to land all the way up there. And, you know, those forces might need to be diverted if something happens in the south and then needed elsewhere, which they might be at this point. Nothing much going on in the south still, really. We're blockading some ports. Martell is moving on the forces in Dorne. Although the Storm King still controls the Lightning Stag. Lightning Stag. God, that's retarded. He's taken back Griffin's Roost, at the very least, by forting off that and blocking some troops in by the fort there. But Griffin's Roost will be his in the next turn, hopefully. Still lost all this. I don't know, it's still tug of war. It's a pointless war, and I've suggested that he just, you know, tries to find a way to end it and make Martell our ally against Lannister. And I hope that works out, because that war is just, it's just going to weaken us considerably when we finally have to fight the Lannisters. The Lannisters are a big, massive, powerful empire, and the Storm King and Martells are just fighting among each other in a pointless war that they've been fighting for ages. It's just wasteful, stupid war that they don't need to be fighting. But hopefully we can make some kind of peace with them at some point. Anyway, we'll go to the next turn. Okay, guys, I need to stop saying "okay, guys" at the beginning of every turn. It's going to start repeating myself. Okay, guys, turn 18. We got some info from the Storm King, which is quite good. I gave him some info on some Martell troops. He's laying siege to Salt Shore at the moment, which could go badly. Good luck in your fight against North with Stannis. I'm sure you could be more. When he says Stannis, he means the player Stannis, not Stannis, actually. Stannis has not travelled back in time and is now fighting for the Iron Throne or anything stupid like that. He's just defeated the Martell's Prince and set him running the Mistwood. I hopefully be able to attack the Martell King with 3 stacks. It depends on how he moves. So Gardner landed a full stack off the coast between Hellhort and Salt Shore. Yeah. Like I said, Gardner is Lannister's vassal at the moment, I believe, being actually played by Lannister. So it's all just a giant. If Lannister attacks us and gets Martell to help him, the Storm King's fucked, because I can't move too far south. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens, but we need to get peace there, definitely. Alright, Stark has just over 2 stacks in and around Flint's Finger, with another in and around Torrens Square. I shall leave my forces at Flint's Finger where they are to ensure that he cannot just retake the castle. However, that means the north is pretty much undefended, so most likely there will be a long war to rid my kingdom of them. He has one smash stack and 2 full stacks, comprised of warrior units and longbowmen for the most part. Just noticed that I have a 2-year-old son by the name of Martin. Cool. The Sunderland girl and his prince have a 2-year-old kid. Which secures our alliance, kind of. I believe I've married the oldest... I've married Prince Artus's sister. I did have a princess, like, who's like 38 or something. I married him off to the Sunderland bastard because he's like one of my best generals. Nothing going on at the Riverlands though currently. It's just all the same old stuff. This ship was defeated, which allowed somebody to do something. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a while back ago. But yeah, still doing a tug of war in Dorne. Pointless waste of lives, really. We could be using those troops somewhere else, but no. We got a port here, but as I predicted, Hoar's like sent in a ship, and he'll block off that port immediately, and my sailor will have absolutely no chance in hell of defeating a full-star general dragon boat, which is like the best units in the game for naval force. And all I can build here are sailors, which is not going to stand a chance. So he can easily make it so I have no ships on this coast. Easily. We'll go to the next turn. Okay, guys, slightly more good news. The Storm King has managed to sign a peace agreement with the Martells, which basically states that he will get the land lost in the Stormlands. It basically means Storm King will get the lands and the Stormlands returned to him, and the Dorne will be returned to Martell, and we're making a clean slate kind of thing. And we've pretty much, they've all agreed that it's a pointless war, and they will fight together against Gardner and Lannister. I will also be able to convince him that a war has been pointless. Yeah, like I said, pointless war, no need to be enemies. Rather be friends against, you know, common enemy and whatnot. Yeah, stop the market. Yeah, blockade. We've already done that. He wants me to stop all my blockades and everything on the Martell troops, which I have done. They're all hugging the Storm King's fleet. Who knows if Martell can be trusted? But hopefully he can be. Hopefully he sees that, like we've said, the war in Dorne is utterly pointless. They've been fighting it for the entire Hotseat, and they've both suffered defeats and losses. Currently, right now, we have had a change of plans. Since the invasion of the Reach is about to commence, the Storm King's moved all his forces into play. There's a bunch of Lannister forces gathering around. We're going to be fighting the Lannisters right now. So we're moving Jasper Aaron down south to meet up with the Storm King forces in the Riverlands. We will likely move my prince also, and probably divert some other troops to defend Falcon's Roost, rather than because we can't leave Falcon's Roost empty, but I would like the prince to get to see some combat, as he is one of my best generals as well, other than Jasper himself. So yeah, those ties will probably lead 2 full stacks to go down here and join up with the 2 to 3 or 4 or so that the Storm King's confirmed are in the Riverlands, and they'll join up with them and kick some ass kind of thing. And we'll take the fight to the Westerlands and House Lannister. Hopefully, Hoar won't attack, but like I said, we'll have forces defending Falcon's Roost by the time my forces move south. So, if you're watching this, Hoar, come attack the Riverlands and see what fucking happens. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't know. It will be defended, hopefully. But on the bad side of things, Stark's informed me that the Torrens Square will likely be under siege next turn, and I don't think he'll be able to do anything about it. But that's all for now. We'll go to the next turn. Okay, guys, Jasper Aaron is moving further towards the Riverlands. I believe the Storm King forces are around this fort area here. I've made up my mind we definitely will be sending the Prince south. I have just the idea of what troops I'm going to send to the Falcon's Roost and how we're going to defend it against Hoar. So that if he lands with, if he lands with 3 stacks, I don't think there's going to be much we can do about it. But if he lands with 2, we'll be able to kill him, no problem. So hopefully he doesn't land at all, but if he does, and if you're watching this, you're dead. Just don't land with anything more than 2 stacks, otherwise that's going to go bad for me. But yes, anyway. We'll join up with forces there. 1 stack under Jasper Aaron and 1 stack under my prince. There's not much going down in Dorne. So far, we're sort of trying to keep things on the down low when it comes to Martell being our friend. But by the time this is uploaded, that would already have happened. So, you know, Lannister will already know that Martell's on with us, or he's betrayed us. We're not entirely sure yet. Hopefully, like I said, Martell sees that war between us is pointless, and he just joins us and helps us fight. But meanwhile, in the north, Torrens Square, as Manish predicted, is under siege and will fall next turn. And he'll be able to likely move on Winterfell without any problems. I believe Manis told me that his forces are hot on their trail. They'll easily be able to retake Torrens Square and beat any of the Hoar forces. But what the Hoar can keep doing is just keep running and sacking shit. Although he is still in massive debt. But anyway, guys, that's all for now, because as I'm recording this, the hot seat's currently on turn 25, which means if I go any further, my enemies will be able to watch this and see where my troops are. So we don't want that to happen. Right now, he can't tell where my troops currently are on the map. He has no idea where my... If Lannister was to watch this, for example, by watching this, he'd have no idea where I've moved my troops in the last 5 or more turns. This is not an accurate... If he attacked now thinking, oh, there's only one stack of Falcon's Roost, he'd get his ass kicked. I can tell you that much. But, yeah, we won't go any further until the hot seat itself moves further, and there's no time limit on hot seats or schedule for them. I upload them when they're uploaded. So, if you bitch about, oh, when's the next part coming out, Soul? I have no idea. The next part comes out when the next part comes out. If you want to keep up to date with what the hot seat's going on and what battles I'm fighting and how the campaign's going, you can always go to the hot seat thread, which is linked in the video description. And you can actually see as I post to each turn there and see what battles I'm fighting. But until that, you'll just have to wait for me to upload more videos when they, you know, become available. That's all for now. Annotation top right hand side. I will see you there. Soul out.